Most of the time I hear complaints about how loud my voice is, but I just want to make sure you can hear me because, as testified to by my loud voice, my greatest fear is not being heard. Is there anyone, can everyone hear? Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm Hal Segal, and I'm co-chair of Going the Extra Mile for this year, and I'd like to, again, to welcome all of you this evening, and thank you very, very much for your participation here tonight, and for most of you more generally in Whitman Walker's work. We'd like to take a moment to particularly thank the Carnegie Institution for Science for hosting us this year in this beautiful building. And I would also, of course, like to express our great appreciation for our sponsors, and at this point to single out and give special recognition to our marathon sponsors, Arnold & Porter, Hogan Lovells US, and the National Law Journal. Would you please join me in giving our marathoners a round of applause? And we also have many sprinter and runner sponsors, and jurist and barrister supporters. I'm glad to say that there are so many of these sponsors who've given very generously that we can't name them all individually now, but they're listed in our program. They're displayed on the TV screens and easels in this hall, and it's heartening. It's very heartening to see so many firms and some individuals so generously champion the important work of the Whitman Walker Legal Services Program. Please give all of these sponsors a round of applause. And I'd also like to give a word of thanks to the fellow members of our steering committee and our host committee. All of our committee members are named in the program and in the displays around us. And again, I would ask you to join me in a round of applause. And I should also tell you that tonight we have the honor to be joined by Council Member Jim Graham, who's not only doing great work for the District of Columbia more generally now, but was actually the founder of the Whitman Walker Legal Services Program. It really grew thanks to the efforts that he made, and so we're very pleased to have him here with us tonight. And I'd like to announce that as of this moment, we're happy to say that we've collected more than $176,700 in sponsorships, ticket sales, and pledges from many of you or your firms in this room. And it's worth emphasizing that money will go a long way at Whitman Walker because this is it's a very low-cost event, actually, and almost all the money that has been given so generously will go directly to support the actual work of Whitman Walker Legal Services. So give yourselves a hand. And the evening is young. There's still time if you want to make another contribution to this important cause.
Thank you, Hal. And that's an issue that I'll get back to later this evening. Good evening, everybody. I'm Pat McGlone, and I've been honored to co-chair this event with my good friend Hal Segal. Hal and I have served on 2 committees in the last 2 years, so we're developing a committee friendship that's quite unique. I join Hal in welcoming you tonight. 27 years ago, Whitman Walker had the foresight to establish one of the very first medical-legal partnerships in the country by making legal services a vital component of its holistic health services. Born in the terrible AIDS crisis of the 1980s, Whitman Walker Legal Services focused for many years almost exclusively on helping those living with HIV and their families and caregivers. As Whitman Walker grew into a full-fledged community health center, the Legal Services Program expanded to offer its expertise to all of Whitman Walker's patients and to others in the Washington LGBT community. Over nearly 3 decades, Whitman Walker staff lawyers and paralegals, and many of you and your colleagues, have provided legal help to tens of thousands of individuals and families of every race, ethnicity, gender, and sexual orientation. Whitman Walker legal staff and volunteer lawyers have fought for health care, disability income, and other essential public benefits. They have helped those afflicted with AIDS and HIV keep their jobs, obtain redress from discrimination, obtain sanctuary under our immigration laws, protect their privacy, and safeguard themselves and their families in the event of future incapacity or death. The legal services that Whitman Walker offers to the LGBT community have been growing steadily. Every year, staff and volunteer lawyers help scores of LGBT foreign nationals escape harsh persecution in their countries of origin through asylum or other lawful status in the United States. Whitman Walker lawyers are helping transgender individuals protect themselves from discrimination in the workplace and in healthcare, and obtain redress from discrimination. And a transgender legal clinic has already, in less than 1 year of operation, helped more than 130 individuals to change their legal names and correct their driver's licenses, social security records, birth certificates, and other legal documents to reflect their new names and actual gender.
And Whitman Walker lawyers also are helping to implement healthcare reform in our own city by playing an important role in patient access to the expanded Medicaid program and the creation of a new insurance exchange under the Affordable Care Act. You may have noticed that in the main reception hall there are whiteboards that tell the stories of some of the individuals recently helped by Whitman Walker's staff and volunteer lawyers. If you haven't seen them already, after the program, I strongly encourage you to take a few minutes after the program ends to read them. I think you'll find them truly inspirational. They highlight the very direct and very personal impact of Whitman Walker's legal services, which have included many of you in this room. Many of you in this room have been involved in the provision of those services. Tonight, we'll recognize the work of 3 individuals and organizations that are at the forefront of the fight for the rights of persons living with HIV and gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender individuals. To present the first of these awards, I am pleased to introduce Adam Falcone, Chair of Whitman